President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
From the line, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
I've always said are the cowards and
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting.
Hello viewers and welcome to another edition of Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network right through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. On the news today, for discussion topics, we have in Rivers State, Governor Fubara declares himself and supporters partyless. In the National Assembly, if Tinubu requests for a jet, Senate will approve by Akpabio. Labour Party says only on its platform Obi will win. Damagun assures victory in Ondo and Edo State. El-Rufai hosts Kwakwanso at his Abuja residence. And the Niger Delta communities urge federal government to release IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. For the guest that is going to dissect these matters today, we are going to go for a break. Before we introduce him, don't move a muscle. We'll be right back.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we?
hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
No party for
Go. Glad to have you back on Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Our guest for today is a political analyst, the pioneer leader of Deservation Project 774 local government areas in Nigeria, a socio-political forum. I'm talking of no other than Honorable Wisdom Land Anyabu. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you on this platform, sir.
Ray, you're welcome. And good morning to Nigerians. Good morning to Rivers State.
All right. Without much ado, let's pour into the first story for discussion. Governor Siminalayi Fubara has poured out his frustration following his inability to participate in the ongoing membership revalidation of the People's Democratic Party, as he formally declared himself and his supporters partyless. In another related story, one of the 23 local government council caretaker committee chairmen recently appointed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara has appointed a staggering 600 individuals as special assistants, senior special assistants, and executive assistants. The caretaker chairperson of Ikwe local government area, Dr. Darlington Orji, made the appointment on Wednesday, 26th of June, 2024. Honorable sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take this one after the other.
Okay.
With your permission, if you please.
It's all right.
All right, sir. Let's head straight to this. Governor Siminalayi Fubara has been frustrated over his inability to participate in the ongoing membership revalidation of the People's Democratic Party, and formally declared himself and his supporters partyless, meaning that he is seeing himself not as a bona fide member of the PDP. Is that what it implies, sir?
Once again, Ray, it's not always nice that maybe when conversations or statements are made by the executive governor of the state and people try to misinterpret or misrepresent them.
Yes, sir.
You know, when the governor was trying to tell us or inform us in his words that party has failed us, precisely the PDP. Most of us are bona fide members of the PDP ab initio before we all left, you know, contesting election with different platforms and the rest of them. And you'll agree with me, from 1999, which is the Fourth Republic precisely, PDP has been one of the major national political parties in Nigeria. It has been able to produce a lot of presidents and governors within the 30 states of Nigeria. But narrowing it down to the 2023 election, we saw a lot of internal unpolitical activities, you know, seed of discord in the highest level, whereby, you know, sabotage became the order of the day. And currently, with the state of the PDP, you know, it's now a tragedy that PDP has lost its balance. So, but when the governor was trying to say that the party has failed, it's because most of these political parties have not been issued when they were all introduced or established. Their foundation or their original constitution didn't give a good room for most people who wrote on the party's platform, you know, to initiate or engage in the things that the party is believed to be part of. Take, for instance, during the Nadoko days and the ANC days, you see, these political parties then were made out of certain ideologies. If you're not believing in a certain way, you shouldn't be part of a political party. But today, the difference, the opposite is the situation, whereby people no longer join political parties based on the ideologies. Rather, people only join political parties just because they want to get to the office. And now, that has also skyrocketed the level of poor performance among those who have been elected within public offices. And take, for instance, if you look at what the governor himself has also said, that the political parties will have to, they have failed, and that is the honest truth. Take, for instance, the governor himself is doing a whole lot. But what is happening within the party? The G60 House of Rep members, part of the PDP, and some others are trying to form alliance. The same also going whereby you see members of the same political party working for another political party that they fought against, they stood against on the national election. So this gives you room to make you understand that even the party principles has already, you know, seen the worst of it all.
Is the governor trying to float?
No. What the governor is trying to say in his statement is that the political party ideology has failed Nigerians. Because, take for instance, as of 2014-2015, the APC came with the mantra that Nigerians have been going through suffering, insecurity, and above all, corruption, fighting of corruption, anti-corruption mantra. That was what they rode upon. And Nigerians, they sold that to Nigerians, and Nigerians believed. But today, what is happening in Nigeria? They say that the same APC that say that they are an anti-corruption political party are the ones even colluding with most of all these people. Look, you and I will attest to what is happening in Kogi State. A former governor, Yahaya Bello, who was, you know, alleged to have misappropriated the fund of the state just because he's part of the political, the national political party that is the ruling party today. Up till today, we've not had anything. This is the same person that the EFCC, Economic Financial Crime Commission, published his name in all gazettes, in all newspapers and headlines.
Is there any political party that is free that is bereft of controversies.
See, you agree with me. You agree with me that the truth is that until political parties get it right, Nigeria can never get better. Because Nigeria, you know that we're running a multi-party system, whereby although that the 2020 Act as amended, the INEC 2020 Act as amended, has given room now for individual independent candidacy, unlike before. Because if they were independent candidacy, people like the P2B and the rest of them that had the obedient movement, they would have stood on their ground without aligning with any political party to stand for the general election. People like us as well wouldn't want to find ourselves, you know, in that same dirty water.
Be that as it may, right now, the president's stance is that for you to gain political power, for you to be able to vote and be voted for, in fact, for you to be able to participate in governance, you have to be a member of an existing registered political party.
That is the existence as at 2010 amendments. Yes.
Despite the shortcomings per se, you still need a political party as a vehicle to get to any elected position in Nigeria.
Yes, you agree with me.
Despite the criticisms, the governor will still need the functions and functionality of a political party. Right now, I want to even ask, let me deviate a bit, if you will, but back to the topic.
Okay.
Why was it difficult for him to undergo his membership revalidation as the #1 citizen of Rivers State, sir?
Oh, okay. I think that is the major point.
Exactly, sir.
For highlight.
Exactly.
Because you will agree with me, some months back, when the PDP National Executive Council meeting was held, you know, the members of the Board of Trustees, the members of the Governors Forum, and as well as the National Working Committee of the party,
yes, sir.
You see people who played anti-party, that up till now, the party has not been able to have the capacity or temerity to sanction them, you know, because as a party, you have a constitution and a bylaw that is binding to all members of that political party. And the very moment you go contrary to those bylaws or those actions, definitely you have to be fined or you have to be restrained. But you and I will agree today that what is happening in Nigeria today, even the same people that work against the same PDP today are still major stakeholders and major key players in the National Working Committee. Take, for instance, ever since the announcement of Damagun as a acting national chairman of the party, Damagun has done nothing. By right, the responsibility of the National Working Committee on an interim is supposed to see how to galvanize the party, bring all parties that are aggrieved together, you know, look for how to mend fences, and above all, re-strategize for the next coming election, because 2027 is around the corner. Exactly. And again, considering what Nigerians are going through, the hardship, the bottleneck, and all the challenges that we are confronted, you know, yes, you see what Nigerians are going through every single day, yet the APC ruling party continue to ambiguously, you know, demonstrate their, you know, negligence upon the citizen. The citizens are crying every day. This is the moment that every political party, including the PDP, which the governor, you know, rode upon, is supposed to come together. But even the governor himself has found it very difficult because, like I said, the key players, especially those who contested for the presidency, if you recall vividly, as at the year 2019, the former governor of Rivers State supported the former governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa, you know, against the emergence of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and the P2B as a 2019, you know, mandate. Then at the end of the day, they tried to reconcile and mend fences. Then 2023, we saw what happened. The former governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Yeson Wike, who is today a minister serving under the APC-led federal government, you know, now had to stand up and want to run for the office of the presidency, which we all supported him. And he also made a vow on that particular day that whoever emerges is going to give his total support. But fast forward today, we are in 2024. Yeah. What has happened? He did not just only sabotage. I want this to be like, he didn't only sabotage the PDP on the national level. You recall together
we work with facts, sir.
Absolutely, yes, because as at the time that the 2022, yes, 2022-2023 general election preparation,
yes, sir,
the then governor of Rivers State never allowed the PDP presidential campaign team, to have a single meeting or even a single summit here in Port Harcourt. Most of all the offices that were, rented as at that time, heavily led by what was his name, Honorable Abie Sekibo, who was the chairman of the Atiku campaign organization. They were all, chastised. River State became a toxic community. But at the end of the day, just because the serving governor today was somebody who was well loved by Rivers people, the division did not affect the governor succeeding. But you will agree with me that the result of the presidency was different. Why? Because there was a lot of division. There was a lot of sabotage. There was a lot of inconsistency among the PDP in Rivers State.
Are you trying to say that the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, is the reason why the ongoing membership revalidation of the PDP does not capture the sitting governor of Rivers State?
Assuming and still conceding on your question, the truth remains, as long as he played a major role for the installment of Damagun as the acting national chairman, and you also remember that few months before even the NEC meeting, that he has also initiated through the same legal counsel that he has been using to try to revalidate the sacked members of the House of Assembly Rivers State. These are the same legal team that he used in filing an ex parte order that Damagun should not be removed, both in acting capacity and also to assume office as a national chairman.
That was a legal process.
That is a legal process.
He did not muzzle it in, and there was a lot of opportunities to be able to counter that. And there has not been any counter.
Raymond,
Damagun being there.
Raymond, we are in
Damagun is there.
I agree with you, but Raymond, you agree with me.
Convention.
You agree with me that every political party, first of all, what makes you a political party is internal democracy. And when there is no internal democracy, it becomes an issue. It's no longer what it ought to be, because when the primary aim and objective of that particular political party is defeated, at the end of the day, is as good as it's an end on arrival. So you will agree with me that because of the effort of the former governor of Rivers State, who played a major role, if you look at the 774 local government in Nigeria today, which I am humbly, the pioneer leader of Deservation, Deservation Project 774. This is a social political group that does not just only work in partisan with ordinary political parties. We X-ray every candidate, and once we see that you're valid and you meet our prerequisite, we'll give you our support. But now look at what happened. In as much as within the 36 states of Nigeria, there's a lot of areas whereby some of the political parties who have good mantra and who have good candidates, yet they don't emerge. It becomes a problem. Now the former governor sponsored a lot of people within the PDP in other states just because of his emerging as the PDP presidential candidate. And don't forget, he scored over 200-something vote during the primaries, and he has influence over all these people. And he has also come up publicly on national TV to say that every single individual he gave support, he bought forms for them.
Honorable sir, let's stick to this particular issue, sir.
Yes.
Let's concentrate our energy and
on Rivers State
on this particular issue of the revalidation of the membership of the governor. I do not believe that Barrister Nyesom Wike, the Federal Capital Territory Minister, is the greatest member, is the strongest member in the People's Democratic Party. There are staunchest team of timber and caliber in the People's Democratic Party, both serving and both retired. You can name them. And I don't think that Barrister Nyesom Wike has so much sway in the People's Democratic Party as to deny a sitting governor under his party the right to register his membership. This is not even contest election. This is not a second term. This is revalidation of a membership that is already certain. Sir, I think there are other reasons why his membership has not been revalidated. But putting all the blame on Barrister Nyesom Wike and National PDP without so much facts would be a disservice, sir. But let me hear your response, sir.
Ray,
yes, sir.
Once again, let me inform you on some of these intricacies of these issues.
Please do, sir.
You know, you will agree with me, Ray, that most of all these issues that we are experiencing today within the PDP, you know, if you look at the result sheets of the last concluded election, in the just 2023 election, you understand that most of the areas or most of the states where PDP holds sway, PDP lost over there. Example is Abia State. And one of the reasons why Abia State PDP collapsed was also internal democracy. You also go to Cross River State. PDP used to hold Cross River very high. Part of the reason why the former governor, Ben Ayade, left the party was still because of this undemocratic act. And today, the PDP has lost Benue State, has lost Cross River State. The same way it goes to Benue, precisely. Remember, these are part of the G5 governors, you know, who also said that they had one understanding that it must be a Southern president, according to their mantra. Now, PDP used to hold Benue. From 1999 till date, PDP has never lost Benue. You can agree with me. Almost even the serving secretary of the federal government, Georgia.
What you mean is that there has not been internal democracy.
There has not been internal democracy within the PT, within the party nationally. And it has given room for internal impunity. That is why I said the former governor, before our governor today, emerged. That is the reason why you see those who are still keen on bringing division within the state are hiding under the umbrella of the ownership of PDP, when they forget that the PDP is People's Democratic Party. It belongs to all Nigerians. It belongs to all Rivers people. But because of the portfolio that they have held, you know that before every election year, we used to have what we call our convention, the national convention, where leaders emerge, and from there it goes down to the state and to the ward level. Now, up till now, these things are yet to be held. And until new leadership emerges to work with the serving governors where the PDP has won elections in the states in Nigeria, these internal issues will continue to arise. And like I said, I want to debunk your statement that Barrister Nyesom Wike has the Herculean power.
No, that's
what I'm saying. I want to debunk that mindset. The truth is that Barrister Nyesom Wike doesn't have that, but only that he has played a major role in the PDP. For him to run side by side, you know, for the presidential election, we also saw what happened. And you will agree with me that he has been a very loud voice within the PDP, because from the time of Aliyu, the former national party from Benue State, before he got down to Damagun, he was also the one that brought our very own Prince Uche Secondus, you know, to emerge as the PDP national chairman, you know. So now these things tells you where the problem of the internal democracy within the party, especially within the state, River State, has been coming from. And that is the reason why you see members of the Federal House of Representatives, in the person of Honorable Gochinyere Ikenga, clamoring and shouting every day, both on national TV and on newspapers, that the internal crisis, internal undemocratic practice of the party is killing the party, because this party was formed by ebullient Nigerians who understood what democracy was all about, because democracy is the only thing that can be able to move us out of the trenches where we found ourselves to a better livelihood, the 21st century where we are today. But do we look like people who are living in the 21st century, apart from the gadgets that we enjoy or we use? In terms of livelihood, Nigerians are yet to come to 21st century, and it is only democratic practice that can, you know, bring us into that particular state. And that is the reason why the governor has found it difficult. But for the governor to say that himself and his party, his supporters, are not members of a political party, that was not what the governor said. The governor was only trying to say that the ideology, the positive ideology of these political parties has been defeated. That is why political parties in Nigeria has failed us.
Is he still a member of the PDP, sir?
Of course, if the governor is not a member of PDP, you recall vividly that there's no time that the governor sits to make his pronunciations, declarations, or grant official interviews where you don't see the flag of the PDP and the flag of the River State.
Membership of the party, sir.
Like I said, this is a season of revalidation.
Exactly,
and
sir.
up till now, the governor is yet to be validated.
Why,
the reason why the governor is yet to be validated is because of the internal undemocratic practice within the party coming from the national. Okay. Like I said.
Okay, I get your point, sir.
Thank you.
I get your point, sir. I was just trying to make sure that your point is well
noted.
Yes, exactly, sir. So, okay, now going to the part B of this question, of this topic, we have the Ikwere local government caretaker committee chairman in the person of Dr. Darlington Orji, having appointed 600 individuals into various positions in capacities of special assistants, senior special assistants, and executive assistants. Such a humongous, such a staggering amount of people as assistants to a caretaker committee chairman. What do you think is the driving force for this action, sir? Because it seems it is going to drain the accounts of the council.
Well, the truth is that hearing about that, the appointment of over a number of appointees by the CTC chairman, you will agree with me that the CTC itself, which was installed and inaugurated by the governor, is to serve on an interim, but a time frame was not given. And the reason why they were, asked was to hold sway. And you will now agree with me with the order of the IGP, mounting the Nigerian police within the local government. It has also limited operations of most of these CTC chairmen, which means they need more laborers, to move from one location to the other, dispatch of letters, communiques, and the rest of them. So, in terms of, hiring a number of people, it's well okay. But getting to that particular figure, it's where is a little bit alarming. But I will also agree with you that Ikwere local government is a very sensitive local government within Rivers State. And if you recall vividly, among the 23 local governments of Rivers State, as at June 17th, when governor made his announcement, you'll understand that Ikwere local government was one of the local governments that the state, experienced resistance, courtesy of the internal undemocratic practices of some of these expired, I wouldn't want to use the word expired, but I'll call them people who are no longer in power, but yet want to remain, head within the main ecosystem of politics in Rivers State. And it's so bad because you remember vividly that even after governor's appointment and the serving CTC chairmen are going about carrying their duties, nullifying, recalling all the existing committees so that a new committee can be set up to engage in harmonizing and bringing all the internal generated revenue of Rivers State, in one accord. And you now see individuals, like my brother, the former local government chairman, making certain utterances, one illegal CTC.
Sir, please, in order for us not to deviate.
No, we are not deviating. Yes. I'm trying to bring it down to...
Yes, because when I see 600 here, I see 600. And I know that Governor Siminalayi Fubara does not have up to 600 special aids.
Absolutely.
Are we going to say that all other local government, the 23 local governments, caretaker committee chairmen, should they replicate and have also 600? What gives? What is the essence? How does this bring about development? That's what we are trying to find out, please, sir.
Now, like I said before, this is not the first time. Let's not play hide and seek. This is not the first time in politics that over 600 persons are appointed. I want to take you
by a caretaker committee chairman.
This is the first time by a caretaker committee, but that's not the direction I'm going. I said this is not the first time we are hearing a political appointment being made over 600. For reasons, best known to the people who are in power. Remember also that the former governor of Imo State, that's from the APC, Hope Uzodinma, had over many thousand SSAs and the rest of them. But narrowing it down to the CTC chairman, believe me, it is not really nice. I must tell you the honest truth, because if you say that you're giving appointment to over 600 persons as SAs and SSAs, and up till now we don't know the definition of their job description, believe me, it's alarming, and it doesn't hold good waters for the governor. But I think that the CTC chairman also must have his reason, and until we're able to hear from him. But I will say that as large as Ikwere local government is, Ikwere local government need a lot of people to work hard, to bring the dividends of democracy in terms of haulages, in terms of IGR revenue, and the rest of them, to also, assist and accelerate most of the things that has been suspended for a few weeks because of these political bottlenecks.
So that means that you are in support or not in support of this move, sir?
Well, I'm in support of the CTC chairman appointing his SAs and SSAs, but I'm not really, appreciative of the figure of appointing over 600 persons in just one local government. It's alarming.
I respect that.
Thank you,
as a statement in you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move to the next story, please. We have the story concerning Senate President Godswill Akpabio has said that the Senate will approve the proposal for the purchase of a new presidential jet if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu requests for it. Akpabio stated this at plenary. However, he said that there was no request for the approval of the purchase of a presidential jet before the Senate. But Akpabio said that the 10th National Assembly will not allow the plane crash incidents, which led to the death of the president of Iran and the vice president of Malawi to befall Nigeria over 40 presidential jets. Sir, you have any counters to this, or you have?
Absolutely, Ray. You will agree with me that what Akpabio here has just confirmed to the wide Nigerians is that he has officially informed Nigerians that he's a rubber stamp parliamentarian. Because you don't tell me that right now, with what Nigerians are facing, the reason that a country succeeds, it's not about the cost of running a government. Rather, is the policies that this government initiate to make life, livable for its citizens. Because you were not brought on board to serve yourself or to serve those few who were elected. You were brought on board to serve the good people of Nigeria. And imagine somebody like the Senate President coming up publicly to say that that Mr. President has not asked, but that as soon as he asks, he has to be approved. Why would we always want to, we call ourselves Giant of Africa, why would we always want to use the wrong situations like that of the death of the vice president in, I think, is it Kenya or Malawi or thereabout, Malawi, and there's another one, and Iran. We shouldn't always use wrong antecedent to set a standard for ourselves.
It's valid to think that,
absolutely, it is valid, but you will agree with me. Sorry, Ray. Yeah. You will agree with me that the presidential fleet alone has over a number of jets. And you cannot tell me that all the jets within the presidential fleet are all in obsolete state.
I think that's the position.
No. I disagree with you with the totality.
The vice president was going for a trip and had to return back because of a faulty jet.
Yet another person used another among the presidential fleet jet to engage in most of all those occasions. Don't also forget that the just deputy speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Carlo, also went for the ECOWAS event some days back on the same presidential jet among the presidential fleet. So you cannot tell me. And again, this same fleet.
We have that on fact.
Absolutely, we do. It's everywhere on social media. And also, let me inform you that Nigerian government, the federal government of Nigeria, is spending over 14-point-something trillion in servicing and maintenance of the presidential fleet. When Nigerians are crying, Nigerians are begging for just a common livelihood. Nigerians are begging for a little minimum wage of above 250,000 naira. Nigerians are begging for cost of commodity to improve. Nigerians are begging for the cost of electricity, to be downsized. Nigerians are begging for just a roof over their head. If you look at what is happening today, most of the things that has, it made most of the landlords today have all increased their rentage so that they can be able to meet with the day-to-day, survivor. And how about those who are not, who don't have their own apartment of their own? How do they survive? The artisans, the traders, those who sell tomatoes and pepper on the road. And yet we continue every day to be, masqueraded with the story of the presidential fleet when Nigerian government is spending over 14-point-something trillion. So what is the money for? Remember also that it did not even cost up to how many trillion for Abia State to have a partnership that brought about the independent power sector establishment. And today it is a serious problem. The inflation in Nigeria has metamorphosed from before, as at the time of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the ratio of this thing was around 17-18%. Now it has metamorphosed to 35%.
Let's juxtapose this with the event of a senior official as in the position of the president or the vice president dying in a plane crash. That would be an embarrassment to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Mr. Ray, I am not advocating that our president or our vice president or any of our elected officers should die. But you will agree with me that the state of Nigeria will definitely move on with or without anybody. I am not. No. We are not. Listen to me. Get my point. Get my point. Because when you continue to say you want to save just only the ruling class, Mr. Ray, with all due respect, have you asked how many Nigerians that die every single day out of hunger and starvation? Are these Nigerians not important to us? Have you talked about the Nigerians who die every single day in the hospitals because of no primary health care services available to them? For crying out loud, with all due respect to Mr. President, to the Vice President and all our elected officials, I, for one, I'm a parliamentarian because I ran for the office of State House of Assembly. I am among those who advocate that before we were elected, we had a life. If until we accept to understand that we are not elected to serve ourselves, our personal aggrandizement, that we are elected to serve our people, these things can never be curbed. And I can tell you, even the president himself, before he assumed the office of Mr. President, he has fleets. And the president, out of his own magnanimity and graciousness, can also say, just to reduce the cost, according to his words, according to the words of Mr. President, to keep off or allow the presidential fleet to be on standby. And let us channel this over 14 trillion naira into other sectors of the Nigerian economy. And I believe with that, Nigerians will feel his presence. He came on board on the renewed hope agenda. How do you renew our hope when you've not been able to make life habitable for Nigerians? How do you renew the hope of Nigerians? That's what I'm saying. And that's the reason why I take it.
12 months in
that's the reason. No. We're talking about 12 months. 12 single months, for crying out loud, in 1 year makes of 52 weeks and 365 days.
And yet the governor of Rivers State could not hold local government elections within that.
No. You don't bring the issue of, listen to me. No. You don't bring the issue of local government in Rivers State. No. Hear me, Mr. Ray. Hear me, Mr. Ray.
Yes, sir.
The issue of the local government elections in Rivers State has absolutely nothing to do with the issue of the presidency. Let me tell you the reason why. Because we had elected local government chairman from the 18th of July 2021 to run all through to 17th of June 18th of June 2021 to 17th of June 2024, which the governor, assumed office, and we still had elected local government chairmen, and they were operational. They were doing their thing. Remember that in different spheres and occasions, this same local government chairman has said
during handover, the governor was well aware off the fact that there will be local government elections.
Listen, that's the reason why I always try to say, I like informing, I use every opportunity available to me to inform Nigerians. Before every now and then we'll continue to talk about the timetable for local government elections. You and I will agree that there is no place in the 1999 Constitution as amended that is enshrined that this is a swearing day for local government elections. But we are aware within this 21st century and this 4th Republic that every May 29 is a handover government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's also a handover government to most of the state governors, apart from those who, out of litigations and appeal judgments and Supreme Court validations, that it has changed the course of their timetable, like the case of Anambra, Edo, Ekiti, and the rest of them. So I think coming back to what we are saying,
yes, I get your point.
Mr. Senate President,
yes,
is the same person, don't forget, that came on national TV to tell Nigerians that are suffering, that he should allow the suffering Nigerians to breathe. Because he does not even understand what Nigerians are going through. And I make bold to say it. I am very disappointed with the Senate President of Nigeria. Because this was somebody that when he was a member of the PDP and also the majority leader within the 7th Assembly, his voice was very loud. This was a man who sponsored over 27 bills that I am aware of. And these bills are people-friendly bills. But today, reverses the case.
Honorable sir, there is nowhere in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that mandates the president to use his private jet for such important official duties.
I agree with you.
So why are you mandating him to do as such, and meanwhile you give reprieve to the Rivers State governor for not holding local government elections because it's not enshrined in the Constitution? Okay. That's double. That's double.
No, it's not double standard. Now let me explain. There is no place it is enshrined in our Constitution that the president or any of our elected officials ought to ride on their private vehicles.
So why?
But you and I will agree. Hold on.
Yes.
You and I will agree. They say different strokes for different measures. Situations, bring us, circumstances circumvent situations. And right now, I think that Mr. President, with all due respect, as a true Democrat, I expect he should be, because he was a governor in the year 1999 to 2007, and he was among those governors who stood his ground and informed the central government then, ably led by President Olusegun Obasanjo, that democracy has to prevail. Should, out of his own magnanimity, to look at the priorities of Nigerians. That the priorities of Nigerians are not, we are not saying, I don't pray for our president to die, God forbid. The Bible said that we should pray for our leaders. And every single day and night, I continue to pray because I have hope in this country. Let me tell you, Ray, it is only those who are not passionate and dedicated about the affairs of Nigeria that continue to maybe wish certain things. I believe, just like Theodore Roosevelt, one of American presidents said, he said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I believe in the dreams of Nigeria will be a better place. I believe that a day will come in Nigeria where the situation happening today between 1999 and 2024 will become history. I believe in a Nigeria whereby we can remember the hardship that we were all exposed to, and we have equal opportunities to ride upon. I want Mr. President, because of the hope of Nigerians that he has continued, to ride upon, to say that he wants to renew the hope of Nigerians, he should, as a father of the nation, because I am on live TV, I'm on national TV, as a father of the nation, to consider the economic bottleneck that Nigerians are passing through. We are not saying that anything will happen. We are not also saying that God has not been faithful, because graciously, remember what happened on June 12th, according to Mr. President. He said he gave us a dobale, and some persons were, saying all manner of things. And I wish that on that very day that he was sound, and I was glad, at the eve of that particular day, that he was able to come up publicly to tell us that he tried to show us the dobale move, as a Lagos traditional old boy, and we salute him for that. But we pray for longevity of life upon him, and we also say that, as he said, he believed in the renewed hope agenda.
Yes, sir.
He should give Nigerians hope. He should not continue to make Nigerians look hopeless.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your your points. I appreciate your point of view.
Ray, you're always welcome.
Yes, sir. Okay, now, the Labour Party has said that it remains the only platform to make its 2023 candidate, Peter Obi, to win in the 2027 presidential elections. The national vice chairman of the party, Ayo Olorunfemi, made the statement in an interview. We recall that Peter Obi, who ran for presidency under the Labour Party in 2023 elections, has come under pressure from some members of his obedience support group to quit the party, which has been hit by crisis after the elections ahead of the 2027 polls. Reactions to the call for Obi to leave the party. Reacting to the call for Obi to leave the party, Olorunfemi said that true obedience won't suggest for Obi to leave the party. Honorable sir,
yeah,
do you believe in this statement that only the Labour Party can make Peter Obi win the presidential election, sir?
Well, it's laughable to hear those headlines, you know, because you will agree with me that Nigeria is a state whereby if you're not on ground, believe me, it is easier for the elephant to go to the eye of a needle than for you who is not on ground to be able to, you know, prepare somebody to win the office of the president of Nigeria. And with all due respect to Dr. Peter Obi, who is a learned friend, a master, someone I adore and I hold at high esteem, the truth remains that Labour Party, with all due respect, cannot make him the president of Nigeria. And I'll tell you why. Okay, you know, back to the reason why I always say that, because in Nigeria today, most of our political parties, ideologies from establishment, you know, has been defeated. The Labour Party was formed by members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, you know, to salvage, you know, and stand as a political defense to members of the NLC. But if you remember also that within the past 1 year of Mr. President being in office, this same Labour Party, after the elections were held and the Supreme Court, even before the Supreme Court announcement, have been, engulfed with internal crisis. The Apapa division and the Abure division, internally the Labour Party holds no ground. They don't have any touch. And that is the difference between the Labour Party, the APC, and the PDP. Because if you look at the PDP is as well as located in every booth within the 774 local governments in Nigeria. And APC told that same line. And that is the reason why today, APC and PDP are the only national parties we have in Nigeria. Labour Party cannot boast of having strong membership to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. The truth is that Peter Obi was indeed a hurricane, and that is the reason why Labour Party was able to deliver in some states like Abia, like Benue, and some other areas. But I can tell you, you can take this to the bank, that Labour Party does not have the capacity to make or bring anybody on board as the president of Nigeria. Let me tell you, in Nigeria, Nigerian politics and Nigerian elections are two different things. You can play politics in Nigeria as a passerby, you'll enjoy it. But when it has to do with electioneering, it's a different ball game. You need the straight credibility. You need a lot of things in place. You need those who have been able to be well educated. There are people who, in as much as we spend a number of years in the college and high institutions to study a certain, there are people whose day-to-day lifestyle and survival is election. And that is the reason why you see day-to-day we continue to have these issues in some states. So Labour Party coming out to make such a statement, believe me, I even think that the obedient structure is more valid. They even have more wings even than the Labour Party. And I believe that if the obedient family can be able to identify either with the two national parties, either of them, that is the only time it is very, very possible for the likes of the obese to emerge.
Okay, sir.
You know, because you remember also that this same Labour Party, just 2023, that they were able to be this loud, they have sold a lot of fake candidacy to Nigerians. I make bold to say it. They sold a lot of fake candidates to Nigerians because a lot of Nigerians, you know, voted Labour Party because they were looking at Dr. P2B, not knowing that the people who were holding the flag, who were the flag bearers of Labour Party in different constituencies were people of questionable character. People who could not live up to their destiny. You look at what is happening in Abia State. You look at what is happening in Benue State. You look at what is happening in other states where Labour Party had one candidate or the other. Most of the Labour Party Federal House of Rep members who continue to, raise alarm and shout during the time of the campaign that they were coming to ensure that the plans and the prospective ideologies of P2B, will come to limelight. Today, they are the ones abusing offices. They are the same people who are also, using the expensive SUVs, contrary to what they came publicly to tell Nigerians. Because most of them, came out publicly to say, P2B said that we will do this, we will do that, we will reduce cost of governance and the rest of them. But today, members of the Labour Party within the National Assembly are the ones who are direct benefactors of these SUVs. None of them rejected it, because if they said that they believe in the matter of P2B, they should have been the ones who are bold enough. We have over the minimum of 35 members in the House of Rep under the flagship of Labour Party. If these 35 members are able to come out and say, Mr. President or National Deputy Speaker, with all due respect, considering the party ideology that we rode upon to come and represent our people, that we cannot engage in using SUVs worth over $150,000 when our constituents are suffering, are in anguish and agony. But today, if you call their phone numbers, it no longer rings, and even when it rings, they will give you one excuse or the other, forgetting that we all are also public servants. In other words, Honorable, you mean that Labour Party has issues? Labour Party is a total collapse for Nigeria. Labour Party is not something that even P2B even should. I think I will give my own consent that P2B should leave Labour Party with immediate effect if he wants to remain valid and also to remain a political earthquake in Nigeria. He needs to leave Labour Party. Okay, sir. Thank you. Let's move to the national chairman of People's Democratic Party, Ambassador Umar Damagun, declaring and denouncing a statement credited to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the effect that he would take Edo State for his party, the APC. Damagun, who spoke during the ongoing inauguration of the National Campaign Councils for Ondo and Edo States in Abuja on Thursday, said that the president and his party should be made aware that Edo no be Lagos. He said that the ruling party should also be made aware that the PDP and the people of the two states, being Ondo and Edo States, would not allow anyone to grab, snatch and run away with their mandates. The party chairman equally said that the people of Edo State were pleased with the record of performance of the outgoing PDP government led by Godwin Obaseki, and we are prepared to reward the party with their votes. For Ondo State, he said the PDP and its members in the state had learned their lessons from the past 4 years in opposition. Sir, Ambassador Damagun of the PDP is coming all guns blazing to grab Edo State and Ondo State, as against the president also having like a wish for both states to be under the APC. Who do you think this swings to? Ray, you will agree with me that Damagun making that statement, first of all, with all due respect to the people of Edo State, Damagun is not in the right position to make such a statement, because even Damagun himself does not know the chair he's sitting upon. Damagun does not even know the color of his shadows, where he's standing upon. And Damagun, with all the public comment that he continued to make here and there, we know that Damagun is only a puppet, operating based on whatever is written. But no, don't worry, we'll get back. But coming back to the forthcoming elections in Edo, Edo precisely, I have more interest in Edo than Ondo.
Okay.
The reason why I have more interest in Edo is that if you remember vividly, the former APC national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshomole, was the former governor of Edo, exactly. And under the flagship, under the political platform of APC, and that was also the political party that gave birth to Godwin Obaseki, exactly. Emerging as the governor of Edo State. But ever since Governor Obaseki, left, as at the time that Governor Obaseki was still in the APC, you will agree with me that Edo people were suffering. You will agree with me that Edo people were not even able to pay minimum wage of 30,000 naira. But as at fast forward, he has joined the PDP and he has drank from the bowels of mercy and grace. Now, he is, as we speak, even without the federal government making any implementation, he has implemented the 70,000 minimum wage. This is a state that is not even entitled to 13% derivation of the oil revenue. This is a state that we all see. The truth is that if you're ready to serve your people, you're ready to serve your people. I can tell you, take it to the bank, that the actions of the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, has proven and will stand a time to make the good people of Edo to continue to support PDP. Not because of the National Party made such comments, I will tell you, because the National Party or the acting national chairman of the PDP coming publicly to say that Mr. President, the same Mr. President that he has in different hours said that he is part of the renewed agenda. It's laughable for us to continue to witness such a thing. If you want to play opposition, you should remain opposition. But for the fact that we are now in Nigeria, whereby most of all these things continue to happen and we allow it slide. But my take is, Edo is PDP right now, and the people of Edo will come out publicly. I will tell you the reason why Edo is not Lagos in that quote. The reason why Edo is not Lagos is that Edo is like River State. The people decide. Okay. It is not a place where you come and you install people and you have your way. The people of Edo are very practical, radical, and above all, they are true to their nature, the Niger Delta nature. So you don't think that you can all the way from Abuja or Lagos, just like what Akpabio did when he went to Calabar, and say, hey, you have to take Edo. He was saying it and making those comments because he felt that it was something that you just take a cup of water and drink. If you go to Edo and see the heat over there, you understand that a single day in one of the cities, or in Bini precisely, will make you understand, or in Ekpoma. And again, that of Ondo precisely, we know what happened before in Ondo. Ondo has always been a PDP state, but we know that the result sheet has never been the same. As a matter of fact, we've never seen the original result sheet of Ondo State. The original sheet of Ondo State always comes out after 72 hours of every election in Ondo State. So I will also not be surprised if APC, like if you remember, their former national vice chairman who left the party said that the party can no longer win if they don't rig. That is not my word, it is his word, before he left the party. So because we know that the mantra of the APC is that result sheets are not declared or seen after 72 hours, then you hear that APC has finally emerged. I will not be surprised if APC takes Ondo, but you see, for that of Edo, believe me, it's too hard for them to swallow.
We have been speaking with Honorable Wisdom Lan Anyarabu, the political analyst and the pioneer leader of Deservation Project 774 local government areas in Nigeria as a socio-political forum. We'll go for a short break, and when we return, open conversation on Full Blast.
Thank you.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
you human trafficker.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Access to our money will put in the bank. POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets.
Challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
It's my pleasure welcoming you back to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network right here in the big city of Port Harcourt. Our guest has always been a friend of the house, and I'm talking of no other than the pioneer leader of Deservation Project 774 local government areas in Nigeria, the Socio-Political Forum, a political analyst of no mean repute. I'm talking of Mr. Honorable Wisdom Lan Anyarabu. It's a pleasure, sir.
Thank you, Ray. Once again.
All right, let's move on to the next topic for discussion. A former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, on Thursday hosted the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, in the 2023 elections. Talking of no other person than Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso. Correspondent reports that El-Rufai hosted Kwakwanso at his Abuja residence a few days after visiting former President Muhammadu Buhari in Daura, Katsina State. There have been insinuations that the former governor is aligning with opposition parties ahead of the 2027 presidential elections. Honorable sir.
Yeah, Ray.
Yes, we have been seeing Atiku on one hand and also El-Rufai on the other hand, meeting with various political parties in the opposition in a move seemingly to align as a measure to be able to counter the All Progressive Congress and snatch the seat come 2027 general elections. Do you subscribe to the fact that El-Rufai is doing this out of grudges of falling out of the ministerial candidacy, or he has better motives to go against the sitting president?
Once again, Ray, thank you for the opportunity. Going back to the conversation of the day, El-Rufai hosting engineer Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. You know, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, as much as he's a very strong Islamic fanatic, has also been a very dedicated, selfless leader within the Northern Empire. And you remember that Engineer Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso was the former governor of Kano State in two different political dispensations, and the Kwankwasia Empire has given birth to so many governors, including the serving acting national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Umar Ganduje, and was also a product of the Kwankwasia. And if you know that, if you understand the Nigerian politics, like I always try to drag us back, the Nigerian politics to an extent of religious sentiments therein, there's a lot of geopolitical, divisions here and there. So, and if you remember vividly within the APC, which Rabiu Kwankwaso was not part of, Malam El-Rufai, who was the then governor of Kaduna State, was one of the key players, was one of the state actors that ensured that our today president emerged as the presidential flag bearer of the All Progressive Congress. Because if you remember, it was everywhere on the news that the presidency, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, has already given an endorsement for the APC to have a consensus candidate in the person of Abdullahi Lawan, who is the former Senate President of the 9th Assembly. And courtesy of Malam El-Rufai, as the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, he was able to come up publicly and debunk that statement and also galvanize support within his own area to ensure that within the party that the today president emerged as the flag bearer of the party, and as well within the North that today president was able to gain some elections. Although we saw what happened within the Kaduna and the Kano, these are areas where we have the block votes. In Kaduna, the votes were divided. Kwankwaso had a number of votes. The president today had a number of votes. the Labour Party candidate and the PDP candidate also had number of votes. But if you go to what happened in Kano, reverse is the case. You know, Kwankwaso had the day. There was no competition at all. You know, from the presidency down even to if there were ward or councillorship elections on that same day. You know, Kwankwaso had the day over there. So you know, amalgamations and alignments are things that are paramount in politics. It doesn't necessarily mean that El-Rufai having a meeting with Kwankwaso is gearing towards the 2027 election, although we know that it has a political underneath it. But it is a good way for starters, because the truth is that Nigeria, we should not continue to live a situation whereby if you're not part of my political structure or you're not part of my political party, then we shouldn't have any reason to drink from the same bowl. For crying out loud, we are all Nigerians. We are brothers, we are sisters. We intermarry one another. You know, we have relatives, like I myself over here, I have relatives over there in the north. The same way you over here have relatives over there in the south. So it cuts across all of us, you know. So we need to continue to debunk, you know, this mindset of anytime people meet is only for political reasons. Like you said before, you know, Atiku on one hand, having meeting with P2B, you know, like preparing for an amalgamation or a realignment, you know. And if you remember too, this same P2B was the running mate to the same Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, you know, in the 2019 general elections. So outside politics, outside electioneering seasons, there is life after that. These people are friends. These people, they meet each other. So we must always try as much as possible to keep away social life to political activities, because it is not the time for elections. If this was happening during the electioneering process or the campaign, during consultation, then we can boldly say that Malam El-Rufai is trying to have, you know, or play an anti-party activity or align with Kwankwaso. For now, they are all both northern stakeholders. And as an elder statesmen, former governors, they have every reason to have Utete Atete at any time.
Okay, sir. Moving on, but as a final note, I just have a joke to say that, that they say that politics within the poor people, and the poor people trying to align within themselves in different political parties, they call it anti-party.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Within the rich, it's called friendship.
Absolutely, because these people are already friends and they continue to have one business or the other. If you remember also, these same people that we're mentioning now, remember that then when they serving NSA today, you know, served under the Olusegun Obasanjo's regime as a EFCC chairman, Nuhu Ribadu precisely, you know, Nuhu Ribadu had a lot of issues with most of all these political bigwigs. But today, you and I will agree that even Atiku is related to Nuhu Ribadu by family acquaintance and ties. So these people, they always look for way and means to, you know, align together maritally and the rest of them. So it's not something that we should be worried about.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. All right, going to the final story for discussion today. Communities in the Niger Delta are threatened to cripple oil production in the region if the federal government continues to remain adamant over the growing clamor for the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The association, in a statement signed by its president, Isa Muhammad Obiri, and Secretary Wisdom Onyi, respectively, threatened to stop oil production in the Niger Delta until Kanu, who it is said is unjustly persecuted, is released. So, sir, concerning the threats by some communities in the Niger Delta, saying that they are going to cripple oil production in the region if the federal government doesn't give freedom to the leader of the IPOB, despite court cases and procedures being still ongoing. Do you think that clamor is well put out for, or they should have taken some other step?
Thank you for this particular subject. You know, this Nnamdi Kanu's issue has always been A thing that, if not well handled, it may or mar the peace and unity that we as Nigerians continue to enjoy. You remember also that because of this same incarceration, you know, within the Southeast, within the past 8 years of the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, the Southeast became, how do I put it? It became a place where the military continued to play around, molest people consciously and unconsciously, you know, people dying daily, and all of a sudden, between the windfall of his administration, we now saw what started happening, where assassination and killing of our Nigerian soldiers who took oaths to serve and defend our country. And these things are not okay, you know. Having internal insurgency as a result of things that could be properly micromanaged within the...
Tell us how it should have been managed.
Well,
tell us the way forward.
Well, the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu has been a leader of his sect. And according to his statements over and over and over, he has continued to cry, to bewail the marginalization the people of the Southeast continue to suffer. You know, and in truth, you know, because this particular issue, it's either we are being truthful or we're being factual. So in truth, are the Southeasterners being marginalized in terms of positioning, appointments? The truth is that, yes, if you take a look at the previous administration
sorry to cut in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Honorable. But I'm trying to get the teeth to the meat.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. What I'm trying to say is they are asking for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The federal government is still in an active case of treason with him. And even the trial judge has asked for a political solution to this, for an outside court settlement. There are still fears concerning the incendiary remarks ascribed to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and that he might continue these incendiary remarks and threats if let free. In pari passu with the fear and also the existing court case, what do you think should be done to arrive at a better solution?
I think it's clear to the blind and very loud to the deaf as well that Nnamdi Kanu on different occasions after court cases has continued to say that through his representative, his legal team, and himself as well, that the Nigerian government holds nothing against him. But coming back to the last publication made by the Vanguard, Nnamdi Kanu has accepted to go into a peaceful resolution of settlement outside court with the federal government. And I think that Mr. President today, who happened to be the father of all protesters and all agitators, in the words of distinguished Senator Shehu Sani, for the renewed hope agenda that he continued to clamor for, I think doing that by releasing Nnamdi Kanu will go a long way. It will go a long way in, you know, dousing the tension within the Southeast, because you know that, like the statement was made, if you read that particular, you understand that even the person who happened to be the president or the chairman of this particular group is a northerner.
Yes.
Is either is a Southeasterner who has adopted the Muslim practice that bears Isa Muhammad. You can see the name. And again, for the past 8 months, the shutting down or the inoperation of this particular oil well, you know, has really added a lot of cost to federal government. And we are talking about Nigerians at large. We're talking about survival of, if, for instance, the cost of the financial cost of this thing that Nigerians have gone through, that income has been generated from this particular oil this thing, you understand that most of the borrowing that the federal government continue to do will be reduced. We saw the publication of the DMO some weeks back that the Nigerian government has continued to borrow, and our borrowing has risen to a tune of a certain amount. As a matter of fact, it's alarming that even the borrowing status of Nigerian government in 1 year of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now far above the 8 years in ratio of the former administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. You understand? Yeah. And it is not consistent because, come to think of it, what do we even have? Or what is the yardstick of us paying back most of this debt? So we really need to release Nnamdi Kanu, because if you see the statement...
Is he going to tame the statement?
Absolutely.
Yes,
the comment,
the fear.
Yes, the statement there is very, very clear to the blind that if they don't release Nnamdi Kanu, they have already given an ultimatum, and the ultimatum is running. And when this ultimatum elapses, what next comes is action. And we don't need those action, because right now within the south, within the Niger Delta region, we really need this peace. Nigeria right now is having, most of the 30 states of Nigeria are having one challenge or the other. If you go to the north, precisely the Kaduna State, there are internal issues there. If you go to Kano State, there are also issues of the membership challenges. If you go to Abia State, you see the abuse of power between the Labour Party internal crisis and the status of assembly, finding it difficult to, kind of inaugurate somebody who has won his case in the appeal court and the rest of them. So almost in the 30 states of Nigeria, there are internal crises, even in Enugu State as well. We are not even talking about that of the River State that is already well known to us. So the reason why Nnamdi Kanu being released, it will definitely not just only downs the issue, but releasing Nnamdi Kanu as well will attract more economic income to Nigerians, because most of all these oil wells that are not operational now, definitely workers can be able to go back to site. And again, most of our investors can be able to come in, because when an investor wants to come to Abia State or River State, for instance, and he hears that every Monday is his seat at home, no investor wants to take such a gamble. You understand? I wouldn't want to come and trade my money in a community, in a society whereby if there is tension tomorrow, all my investment is lost. Take, for instance, what continues to happen in Abia State for the past number of years, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, even in Imo State and Anambra State. You understand? At a time, a certain community, had certain issue that everybody in the community had to run away. All because of either if not unknown gunmen, it happens to be, they say that it is the members of the IPOB. And we know that the IPOB have always been a non-political actors, but as a group, they continue to make statements, and each time they make publications, believe me, it's always very, very, very dire. So I think that if the federal government can be able, considering because the federal government has nothing to lose if they release Nnamdi Kanu, but rather the federal government has more to win, because it will bring peace to the people of Southeast. It will also reduce the marginalization. And again, you will also agree with me now that the National Assembly, ably led by Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has proposed for the Southeast Development Commission to be established. And now with the Southeast Development Commission being established, it will bring a lot of infrastructural development within the Southeast, just like what the NDDC, the Northeast Development Commission and the rest of them are doing. So releasing Nnamdi Kanu, believe me, will be a point of ice water on most of all these challenges, and with that, Nigerian economy will grow higher and insecurity will be properly managed.
Well put out there by Honorable Wisdom Lan Anyarabu, the political analyst and pioneer leader of Deservation Project 774 local government areas in Nigeria, being a socio-political forum. It's a pleasure having you once again.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for your analysis and input.
Thank you, Nigerians. It's part of what we'll continue to do, and we'll continue to let our voice be heard for the good people of Nigeria.
From your host, Raymond Ken Mbata, standing in for Laurentia Obu, stay connected to our Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on our X handle, Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. And from I, myself, and the management and staff of Atlantic Television Network, I say
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank. There are POS operators. She said 50,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human trafficker.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring honest pop news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond